This is Professor MoneyPigTrading. Today it's September 12, 2021. We're going to talk about what happens to Apple core ruling. There's a really big news on Friday, and actually on Friday when the news come out, Apple actually dropped about 3%, while many other developers that have products listed on Apple Store are actually benefiting from this news. We're seeing on Friday, Match.com, MTCH, Bumble, BMBL, Spotify, Roblox and Zynga, the gaming developer, they're all benefiting from this news, and Friday they have a nice pop. So let's take a look at what's going on. And really quick, if you haven't liked this video, make sure to like it. That'll help our channel tremendously and help your fellows to find the video that they're looking for. And also, if you're interested in our Discord community, feel free to check out www.moneypigtrading.com. Our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or MoneyPigTrading. Feel free to follow and subscribe to get the latest contents. And just really quick disclaimer, we actually hold Apple stocks and some of the long call options that we're going to discuss, like Match.com right now. So yeah, just to let you know. So on Friday, what happened is Apple, the news came out, can no longer force developers to use in-app purchasing. And that's the judge rules in the Epic Game case. So basically, the key takeaway from this news is there are several of them. First of all, I think it's a big win for Apple because Apple is no longer considered as a monopoly by the state and the federal law level in the United States, which has been a big risk factor for Apple, and Apple potentially might be broken down because of that. And now this case has been totally ruled out, so I think that's a really big win for Apple. The second thing that actually tanked Apple down by 3% on Friday is Apple can no longer force developers to use the in-app purchase system. So those developers now with their apps listed on Apple Store, they can freely guide the users into their own payment system, not being charged by Apple with certain fees. So potentially going to improve the margin on all those app developers. However, I think that's a small loss for Apple. We're going to break down the numbers in the next video. And right now, there's a lot of uncertainties here for every lawsuit case, right? Because in this case, we don't know what the user will behave. Because all these charges are pretty small. Will the user really have to click a few more buttons to go through potentially other app developers' payment system? Or they will just say, whatever, I'm just continue to use Apple Pay or the Apple in-app purchase system. And then in that case, probably those app developers won't benefit that much from this news. And also, the Epic Game actually might appeal this case, so the case might not be finalized until a few months or a few years later. And there, right now, with all these uncertainties, we just have to learn more from the next Apple event, where they're probably going to release a new iPhone 13 on September 14, 2021, Tuesday. And also the October 26th, the Q3 earning, probably Apple will provide more guidance down below. And let's break down how can we quantify this news that will affect Apple. So basically, we break down the last Apple quarterly earning revenues. And basically, you can look at the iPhone revenue actually account for 53% of the Apple revenue on last quarter. The Surface itself is only 23.6%, whereas the in-app purchase sit in. And the Mac sale itself is about 11%, and the other wearables like AirPod, home accessories are about 11.8% as well. So if we're looking at the Surface itself, roughly about 30% of Apple services are in-app purchases. So based on that number, we estimate $5.2 billion of last quarter's earning is from in-app purchase. So let's just assume a really bad case, really don't know, that Apple lost 50% of the in-app purchases here because of this news, and down below the downstream changes. Then in that case, Apple will lose about $2 billion of revenue. That roughly is about 3.5% of their total revenue in this case. So like we said in the previous slide, we think it's a very small loss for Apple because it's just 3.5% of the revenue, but now they no longer consider as a monopoly, which I think has a long-term benefit from here. So let's look at the Apple daily chart again. On Friday, actually pulled back. And then before Friday, actually pulled back together with the market after it started launch at 148 all the way to 157. That's 11 points. That's a lot for Apple. And then on Friday, I actually test this EMA support at 148. If this level kind of hold, it's going to test 146.6, which is a 50-day EMA support, which should be pretty strong. We cannot rule out the, like we mentioned in the last video, which the link is up right here. The September is kind of like a bearish. So maybe it will break the 50-day EMA after the Apple events. We don't know. We're potentially going to test this 140, which is the 50-day EMA level. If that level can hold, we actually have a 100-day EMA at 132, which I highly doubt will be tested, but we shall see. Some other names that will benefit from it. The biggest one right now is Match.com, which is a dating app provider. They actually have Tinder and many other dating apps. And also last week there's news that Match.com actually will be included into S&P 500 big cap on September 20th. So that will force a lot of mutual funds and ETF to buy Match.com. So we believe this is super bullish for Match.com. Right now on Friday, test 171 and pull back really quick to 164 because of the whole market sell off. But we do think potentially the next week it can retest 171, break this range high, and test all-time high to 174 because a lot of ETF and mutual fund, again, they have to follow the S&P 500 index, so they will have to purchase Match.com, which will create a lot of momentum in this one. The other one potentially going to benefit from this name is Bumble, which is also a dating app. Right now, the lockup period just finished. It's a newly IPO name. It's trying to forming a bull flag to the upside. On Friday, we see the stock price also pop as well. And now it's holding all the EMA support. If we can continue to push, we do think potentially can push back to this $75 level in the next few months. But we have to see how it will impact their margins. The other one really likes the streaming name Spotify, has a really solid balance sheet, cash flow and revenue growth, etc. And a few weeks ago, they launched a stock repurchase program, and the stock actually pushed all the way to this $260 level. And now a little pullback holding the EMA support. And on Friday, we're seeing a little pop as well. If we can get more news coming, we do think Spotify will have room to push above this 260 level and to this 280 level resistance, perhaps into the next earnings. The other name is Roblox, newly IPO name as well. Lockup period just finished. Very solid revenue growth, a lot of potential here. And right now it's holding the EMA support, and potentially they're going to benefit from this app store. A lot of their clients, they actually provide a firmware for a lot of gaming app developers. So if their gaming developers are doing well, Roblox is going to do well as well. So it's kind of like a secondary play here. The other one's going to directly benefit from this name is Zynga. ZNGA is a game provider. It's actually had a really good revenue growth, positive EBITDA, all the good stuff. Since COVID 2019, this is a daily chart, 2020, actually pushed from the low $5 all the way to $12. And because people think now people are not going to work from home, going to play last game, the name actually continued to be sold off even after a decent earnings a few weeks ago, and dropped back down all the way to around $8. And from the app, this news actually on Friday popped all the way to $9, pulled back a little bit, and now we're going to see if the next few weeks Zynga can gap fill around this $10. The other one is really bad fundamentally, but daily chart is trying to break the downtrends. Another gaming app developer, and MSGM. Their quarterly revenue growth is minus 42%, so that's why it's a big downtrend. We'll have to see, this beaten name potentially can really benefit from this Apple news, right? Because even though Apple news drop, this only affect Apple quite a little bit of revenue loss at 3%, but potentially can mean 100, 200, 300% revenue growth for those smaller gaming developers. So many other names you can look at: streaming, Netflix, Disney, and other gaming names, SKLZ, ATVI, EA, TTWO, all this can potentially benefit from this news, and we just have to continue to monitor their fundamental and technical charts. So really quick, we have a solid swing trading program. One member joined. 1 month later, his account grew from $2,000 to $12,000. That's 540% growth. And we also have a robust long-term investment program, 54 trades this year, 21% average return with a winning rate of 75%. So if you're interested in our paid Discord community, feel free to check out at www.moneypigtrading.com, and don't forget to follow us on MoneyPigTrading. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.